So it's the Coca-Cola Top 40 essay on 947, and every single week we say wild things, and we're like, we've got a friend, that side in England, and this time it's no different because we had a telephonic interview with this guy last year, and this time around he has come to the studio to visit the Coca-Cola Top 40 essay.
It's so strange. I remember the interview last year. We were like, oh yeah, when you come to South Africa, please come visit us in the studio. We're friends. I was dropping like British slang on the radio for you guys, and now he's in the studio with us. It's pretty cool. How are you, Callum?
I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah, man.
It's like it's not happening.
It's my first visit to South Africa as well.
Yeah,
never been in my entire life. And now here I am.
Wow.
Mantsoe, by the way, is probably your biggest fan. We've got this feature during the week, which you call the Top Tag, where we select new music. And if there's a new Callum Scott song, nobody's allowed to touch it because we already know that it's booked. And it's booked by her. So she's kind of fangirling right now, but trying to stay really
I'm
calm.
really fine. Look at my
You're very composed. Very composed.
So you said first time in South Africa. How are you finding it?
Oh, man, I love it so much. I visited Durban, Cape Town, and now Johannesburg. Yeah. And I don't really want to go home now.
Yeah.
I love
There's
it.
no need to.
Yeah.
No.
We're very welcoming here in Joburg, particularly Johannesburg. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Although I did fall in love with Bunny Chow in Durban.
Oh.
That was a bit of a game changer for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Bunny Chow was pretty good.
Now, you were on Britain's Got Talent.
I was.
think that was back in 2015.
Yes.
I found out that your sister had actually auditioned in the very same season, but she didn't make it. And then you got on. Simon Cowell, I think, sent you straight to the lives or something like that. How was the sibling rivalry after that? Because I can't imagine how awkward that might have been.
Yeah, man. You know, my sister sort of believed in me before I did. She used to hear me singing in my bedroom and stuff, and she encouraged me to apply for competitions. And she said, oh, let's go for Britain's Got Talent next year. And I was like, nah, I'm all right. And she's like, no, we should go and see what happens. And it literally was that. Like, I went as a big brother there to support her.
Yeah.
I'd obviously rehearsed. But we rehearsed songs. We rehearsed a song together. We rehearsed our own songs, and when she got no, and I went on and got the golden buzzer, I kind of felt like I'd stolen it from under her feet a little bit.
Yeah.
And I know the tears was kind of like, oh, I'm so happy for my brother, but I'm also really annoyed that he took it. So it was a bit sour for a few days after. Yeah. But then she sits me down. She's like, you know what? If I can't get through, the next best thing is my big brother to get through.
So your sister sings as well.
So she sings as well. Yeah.
Do you work with her?
She's actually since I've got to this point in my career, like I have the opportunity to choose my support artists, so when I've toured in the UK, when I've done a hometown show, she's been my opening act, which has been really great. Yeah, really awesome. Proud moment for my mum seeing her kids on stage. And she wants to be involved a little bit more. I think we're going to do a duet maybe for the next album. Who knows? But yeah, she's wanting to start up a country band. Oh, so she wants to start singing some country music, but she has that twang in her voice, so I think she'll do great.
Is country music a thing in England?
Not as big as it should be.
Okay,
but I think if she gets on it now, like the whole Chris Stapleton thing, Rascal Flatts and all that kind of thing. I think if she jumps on board now, then she could potentially make it a thing here.
Okay, cool. So you work with your sister. I'm pretty sure there's people that before you became Callum Scott and the world knew you, you were like, if I could work with this person. Yeah. Who are those people?
I mean, my top of the list is Adele. Just because I idolize her, I try.
You fanboy?
Yeah, oh, massively. I fanboy and fangirl at the same time. Fan everything. All of it. Yeah, fan everything. The whole spectrum. But no, she just sings from the same place as I do. She's very honest. And she seems like she's just still got her head very firmly screwed on. And I love that. And so I idolize that, and I kind of want to walk in those footsteps. But there's a ton of people I'd love to work with. I mean, I'd love to do a male duet. Now that I had the opportunity to do it with Leona, I'd love to do a male duet. So maybe one with like Ed Sheeran or Adam Levine from Maroon 5, something. But I'd go as far as doing something as different as with Cardi B.
Whoa.
Yeah, or Drake or somebody. I think that would be really sick because it's just a different kind of recipe, you know? So I think that sort of stuff would be amazing. So yeah, I'm up for anything.
Really cool. Now, when you auditioned initially for Britain's Got Talent, you auditioned with, I think it was Robin's Dancing on My Own.
Yes.
After the show and all that success, did you expect at all? Because I mean, that's a cover in a sense. Did you expect the cover, to blow up the way it did? Because I mean, I think I'm willing to go as far as say that it possibly was bigger than the original
song,
version
yeah.
of the song.
I don't
Here in
know.
South
That's
Africa,
literally
definitely
how
was.
big it was in South Africa.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, I remember as soon as I got the singing bug, and as soon as I started on that like journey to I want to sing for the rest of my life, I remember looking at YouTube videos and being like, oh my god, they're so amazing, and I'll never sing like that, and I'll never be as big as that. And then that one moment, I think probably because I didn't think too much of it in the moment, I was actually really emotional. Like, my sister had got to know, so I was angry, I was upset, and I was so excited and nervous all at the same time. All these emotions kind of made the audition what it was. And then to know that had then travelled the world, because Britain's Got Talent got shown in all the different countries all over the world, and then YouTube and the power of social media. It was literally an overnight thing, and my phone like vibrated itself off the table after that audition, and it's just it's continued like that perpetual motion. And it is. I mean, I can't even explain how much it's changed my life. Like I used to work in an office doing human resources. So then to now being sat in South Africa talking about my own music that I've written myself and performing to thousands of South Africa, it's insane. Insane. It's completely changed my life. But no, when I covered that song, I had no idea it'd take me here. I think it's a good job as well, because if I'd have known this was to follow, I'd have put a ton more pressure on myself. So I think it's kind of like, it's better that it just was what it was.
It's what you were saying, that you sing from an honest place, and it touched people to a point where it got that big.
Yeah, you know, I think especially like even with You Are The Reason, I hear that went 3 times platinum over here. I mean, it just goes to show that I wrote a song that was honest and genuine, and it was just a song about love to try and encompass everybody. And it seems to have done that, because everybody who I've sang that to over this weekend has sang it straight back at me. It's the loudest I've ever heard it sang back. It's like gives me goosebumps every single time. But it just goes to show that people see past the BS, you know. People just see what they want to see, and I think the purest music goes further.
You spoke about your phone now buzzing out of control and vibrating after that particular audition. Now, what was that change like? Because I can imagine, you say that you're in human resources, and now you're just Callum Scott, you're just a lad, not a lot of people know you. Next thing, I can imagine how many tweets you're getting, and people are just following you, and now everyone is so invested in your life.
It was ridiculous. I remember, like, I had a very modest, I think 150 people were following my Facebook. And it was like, I wrote on my page, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be on Britain's Got Talent with my sister, you should tune in. Obviously, I knew what was happening. And we went back, it was actually quite sweet. We went back to the very first place I sang live, and we showed it on a big screen. And all my friends and family never knew what was going to happen, because it got recorded in the January, I think, and it didn't air until March. So I had 3 months of kind of still at my job, like, oh my God, like 3 months' time, my life is going to change pretty significantly. I even got dragged into meetings. They were going, Callum, your energy levels seem to have dropped a little bit. Like, you don't seem to be as focused as you used to be.
I'm a superstar now.
My resignation just in the drawer, just ready. But yeah, literally, as soon as that audition happened, I remember the 3 likes that I got on Facebook before the show. One of them was my mom. To then like hundreds and hundreds, and then thousands of likes after that. It was just overnight success. It was the most surreal feeling, and it was actually quite hard to get used to, because my phone was buzzing off the hook. All of a sudden, my modest 150 friends had then turned into thousands, and all these people commenting me all these really beautiful comments. It's actually quite overwhelming at first, and it was hard to get used to.
And people around you now treating you like Callum Scott. It's not Callum that we know and we just grew up with.
It's just, because now people, it was funny, I went back home just for a few days before I came out to South Africa. And there was a fair happening in my hometown. And so I'm walking through with my family, and I kind of want to be the same normal guy. So I don't take anybody with me, any security. It's just me and my family. I'm walking around, and so many people like nodding or waving, and, oh, hi Callum. And I'm like, I don't know if I know you or if you know me. Like, because it depends on whether I'm like, it's mad. It's so mad. But I'm still not over that. People coming and taking pictures with me, and it's so nice to see me having a picture with somebody completely makes their day. Like, it just gives me big smiles.
What do you miss the most about life before, you know, all of the lights and the cameras and people giving you all the attention? What's the one thing you look back to and you're like, oh man, I wish I could just go back to that?
Yeah, you know, I kind of miss that standard sort of normal 9 to 5 rhythm. you know, because you sort of get into a pace when you're doing one of those, I don't want to say normal jobs, but when you do like a 9-to-5 job and there's a bit more structure, you get into the groove of it. And I kind of miss that really, because my life is so crazy at the minute. I live in my suitcase and I go where I'm told and I do as I'm asked, and then and my life's that crazy. I never know where I am from one place to the other.
Look at the people behind. Those are the ones that tell you where to go. They're like, they wake up and their job to tell you where to go.
Oh, they're the ones that keep me very grounded, very grounded. But I think probably one thing I miss is a wardrobe, is a closet.
Yeah.
Having my clothes hung up is a novelty now. Yeah, everything's folded. I'm having to iron everything. It's mad. It's mad.
Wow.
So that's probably one thing I miss.
All right. Now, you released Only You earlier on it was earlier this year, hey? Yes, it was.
Yeah,
it was. That was around the time You Are the Reason was also still #1 here on the CokeTop40 SA. A lot of artists, well, not artists, but people who are looking to break into the industry, first thing they say, they're like, oh, I need to get a deal, and then I need to record my album right now and get it out now. And you seem to have taken some time, getting your debut album together and that sort of thing. Yeah. So what is the process with you, especially with you, putting together your body of work for an album?
I suppose it's different for every artist because everybody has their own way in. I think for me, it was quite difficult because dancing on my own, when we released the single, we were I remember sat down with my manager and he said, after the show, he was like, everybody's asking you to release this as a song. Everybody's using all their data, streaming this on YouTube. We should put it out as a single, and then that kind of marks the end of that journey. Then we can concentrate on writing the album. And we thought we were going to do like 10,000 sales. So we thought it was just going to be a little thing. We put it out. We sold 250,000 on our own. And then when I got signed to the label, I think we've now sold over 7 or 8 million of the single.
Crazy.
Massive. Crazy. So that, as you can imagine, kind of really rocketed the start of my career. So I was kind of playing catch up with all these countries that had played my song. So I was out doing promo. At the same time, I was doing live work and supporting artists in the UK and doing shows in the US. So I was kind of playing catch up with everything, as well as trying to write an album. So everything was kind of spurred on by the fact that I was like, right, I've got to get an album together, but I need it to be honest. So I took a couple of months out and really concentrated and just wrote really honest songs. I thought the best music I've written is when I've just poured my heart out onto paper. And so that process took a little while. I wrote about 70 songs for the album, because I was just like, it was like therapy. I was just writing. And then when we stopped and we got all the album together, I wanted to get the track listing in order because, I take my sort of inspiration from the Beatles, where they took a long time getting the songs in order because essentially I wanted my music to be listened to as an album, and to have a whole journey. So we took time with that. But I really just wanted to make sure that my fans had been waiting so long. The stuff I wanted to give was nothing more than I could give. I wanted it to be 110%. So it just took a little time. But that is no way of me being able to say that that's a recipe for anybody else to use because everybody else has their own journey, and I reckon album 2 will be different again from this process. So it's just crazy.
When we definitely can't wait for album 2 and album 3 and album 10. But you know that you'll come back to South Africa anytime and people will be very happy to have you. But talking about South Africa, how was your experience with your show that you just brought here?
Oh my God, it was just the most magical these 3 days of performing back-to-back shows here in South Africa has just been mind-blowing. I've never been to this country before, as much as I've dreamt of it. And then for my music to bring me here and to come and to be playing to thousands of people and for them to be singing the lyrics back to me that I remember writing in my room and writing it back home in the UK. It's honestly one of the most gratifying experiences. Part of my show is that I have the upbeat stuff and I make people dance around a lot, but then I kind of have an objective to make people cry. So last night when we were playing at Marks Park, it's a festival vibe and everybody's ready to party. And then there was these really solemn moments where I really stripped it back and sang really, personal songs, my new single, No Matter What, and songs like that. And you could see people in the crowd crying, and I'm like, I don't know if I should be bringing people to a festival and making them cry, but I just tried to give them that sort of honesty in my songwriting, and it seemed to have gone such a long way. People have been commenting ever since, oh my God, it's such a beautiful show. I've never seen a show like it. So I'm so happy. And I can't wait to come back already.
We're ready to have you back.
Yeah,
I'll tell
man.
you that much.
I'd love to.
I want to go back a little bit to you said in the process of making your album, you've got to be completely honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How difficult is that? Because there's so many moments I'm sure that you felt like, I really want to keep this to myself, but because this is your art and that's your therapy, now it has to be released to millions of people across the world. So, I mean, we have to share in your emotions, even the tough moments that you've got. So how difficult is that?
It's so difficult. I've explained it to my mom. It's if I've written a life diary and then published it online.
Sure.
It's like, it's so personal. And the songs I've written, especially for me, because it's such a long journey of accepting myself and accepting my sexuality and all the kind of things I've been through, that it's so personal that it's stuff that you struggle telling family and friends, let alone like strangers you've never and probably will never meet in all corners of the world. It's pretty rough, you know. I tormented myself a lot with should I tell people, you know. I was essentially, you know, really scared of revealing my sexuality to people like my management and my label, because I was scared that they wouldn't want to work with me again. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I was so fearful of rejection that I was kind of like, I shouldn't share these songs. These are far too honest. And like you said, I knew that songs like this potentially could change the world and could change people's attitudes. And I was like, that was the reason why I put them out. And seeing like how this album is being received is just the most, I can't even, I mean, it gets me emotional thinking that people are coming out to their families because of me, and people are accepting themselves because of me, and that really makes me feel like I'm trying to create a medicine for the world to use, and it's a big thing, you know. No matter what, the new single is exactly what you said. I was like, this one I can't. I mean, it didn't even go on the album, and then, you know, singing it live across America and across Europe. I said to the label, we have to include this, and so we've included it as part of my special edition album that I'm releasing at the end of the month. And I'm so glad, so that people can use this as a tool, I guess.
And you'll be happy to know, no matter what, it's actually heading towards the top 20 now.
Oh, nice.
The CokeTop40 SA. So we're looking at a potential third number one, because Dancing on My Own was your first number one on the chart. You Are the Reason spent 3 weeks earlier on the show at number one. And no matter what, it's still climbing. It's getting up there. South Africa clearly loves you.
It's crazy. But I have you to thank for that.
and that was you pointed at me, by the way. I wish you guys could see this, but when you check it out online, you will see that I have.
It was a direct.
It was to me. Thank you.
This friendship that has gone on, and I'm excluded on the other side of the studio.
Just another guy in the studio. Thank you very much.
All right, so that's Callum Scott, my man. Thank you so much for putting through to 947.
Oh, thank you so much. And can I say as well, a massive thank you to all of your listeners, and to you guys, and to the station, just for supporting my music. To know that my songs have been number one here is an incredible feeling. So thank you so much for the love.
Awesome. Wait, before we actually let you go, I need to go back to this thing. Last year when we had you on the line, Mantsoe, you said that Callum's a real? He's a real what? He is live in studio. We are going to see how good this British accent is.
I forgot it. I'm sorry. I forgot what I said.
I remember very well. Do you want me to remind you?
What did I say?
You said Callum's a real corker. With the most atrocious accent I've heard. This is your chance. He's live in studio.
I'm actually not, I can't believe I said that. I'm not going to say that. You can't make me say that.
Did you think we were going to forget?
Oh, no. I didn't learn new slang, so I've got nothing for you, mate.
I will give you a list of new slang to work on.
Okay, cool. I like that.
That's Callum Scott on the Coca-Cola Top 40 SA. Callum, thank you very much for coming through.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks.